as well as our chapter and our county, state, and federal leaders that are watching, as well as our Navajo people. On behalf of the administration, we are honored to present the State of the Navajo Nation Address for the 2021 summer session. Before we begin, we want to take a moment to recognize and thank all of the men and women, including our Navajo lawmakers or council delegates who took part in the horse ride over the last few days to honor the long-standing tradition of our past leaders, many of whom used to travel by horseback long ago. We know that a lot of time, work, and resources go into the horse ride, so we thank you for honoring that tradition. COVID-19 is still amongst us with a new variant, and Ahe'hee nandan hidi nido des kudo di pusin skagi nas it's at the yakon ni tenebiki of a cow but naha hetan in sin kudo that is no do kwa nihe not ani do zel endan lengido weekend son zon kade strats at the des so kudo ya nakashni hindishni shikeno thing kudo ben nachita isuno tsagi do bikijende pagi do kudo di ze chdet anagiya bikijana anashigi nasni sashin khadas lan khadas nabiki abaka here ado ato nakhada tsagi Doni ke jo but any kids came of any togo lagana bikaya ko denades kida ishim but ado nanas no di person skagina states at the delta variant will yego ako katla ade lagana bikaya the blush slide and leningisa zel enom the hast kudo agenda nishgi dania La con zel indaz nalo ya khaygi ya to bada az sigi ekonen dahaz khan tan hido ni ebnina kodosh kino thini ashone nkhada tse to di zegi di bikijna an shot ebnina hon yikeni hinna na kitsata to le tego bunda khagi ashone hon nkhada atse tanihbine arona tain beshma sanno thingi khana zanno thingi to janago ta shadi hon akhich na so di kada sa devat a kai je no not so some chipata sa ado di chianda do di ishida dasoni ya yikeni hinabche eba henitz but as kai je aro kon yikeni nasa mitsa tajitten Asa the media is the one is not the no the lahnet icon. He can't in the now the industry. A kudo a cane of thinning in the Hatso deals in order. Aro consa he can't hidden the person skagi but all nagisa and the seas which end has tea. Such that it's zigzag. Saya Bitsis which enda has tigi. Ombat so deals in Shkina thin. ako ato beach ini khat dinas ni ge konda hadainos ne ni ze do ni chi bikidas ti apon tada do khash one ado ahgan da so tado jodin oko osto ha zoje sole ha zoje yo to ha zoje do le ke shi do oya denades kiti it's ado nasni tishni delta variant in even in do da hasya ako ni he ko ni Washington do ni ultra on delia ado da hasya do master das and the no egot do yego da to was the dinas ni kina sim konsa lagana sanda kaido sa ni kain hin na ya for the businesses da haloya edo lana dans and even na on delia here Navajo Nation ado here dan hi edo the beshma san no senigi Ronald so spela da so si ado nis ni Washington hi keya do ultra do on the do nis do kana zando aja hi kain hin na sahanda plegi do edo on do nis no jo asa bela da so si so jo go ya do on de ne ye Navajo Nation ako ada siado do di ka ni beson gi chita American Rescue Plan Act will give do beshpas an hanne bichu da liado ya das ni hido kodo executive branches ajia kujin shinabel Vice President Lizer ajib kidade tingi ajin dal neshido labena neshida yilla di yanle khana zala hadas zone di hot ya lana danzen di projects that egi shovel ready ne the nishigi not so kada liya in gichi kodalia kade kodo khanda nishigi yidades indo di jo on hichashane de let di ani kade peso de bahalo babjal yago the niche to lesa no hot he accelerate and lengi division directors so yego hot bananish dayila akoti summer session igia beshpas an ya nal sosla hadelia ishianda indo les ya person yichide anigi nia kodo besosla stendo nel no bininagi ya kuje le ni kaid hinna sashi the businesses bet the haloya nakhanda dol nashti o khuyushi projects hadelia aj ni kado chahtadi no hot peso saba ashtani nal hot nas bini yashi asate kleto lesti projects that ag beshli chi toda the internet that agi skiswa the is was to lesto telephone cell phone that agi dan joan dal nisole the nabiki apakal wins haganda adadol ni study no da benda hita the ye kin skagi sanda do na b ya haganda na to les hagana maz hoga octagon that agi kum yikeni hinna lana danz edo what out da deal ni to kojudo shna ina Vice President Lizer ad na nish halon do lesto di kuj na liha baho gando la da halon do lesto naviki ka what out ya kwa ye peso de enigi a kon de naviki ka to ido de study no bindate ado enigi beshmas anbel shikeno lini so here then he nido les anos to kwa da is not agi kodo Nakatso Zendon hinat Anido Batso Zenigi, to Aben Nachadik and Abich and Kati Nasnigi. Doshi had I nosne, Nike mask to dash and ashword. Don't naso she econ projects that Agishi with Ska nature. What a ya Adadon Nisota. Batso Zenashwan, don't have. Tadadolzen jo alla adi tlehti person khajdet anigi jo chdo istadi no ashi so dilzeno oda di in khaido liso dashi kenosin so kolsoshi and then he wishlado del kodoshin shina Vice President Myron Lizer he had sito less Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's good to be with you all, honorable members of the 24th Navajo Nation Council, Mr. Speaker, Madam Chief Justice, chapter leaders, and our citizens of the Navajo Nation. I'd like to recognize all those that took part in the trail ride, as President did as well. I'd like to thank Delegate Wilson Stewart and his LDA Timothy Begay for inviting me and my staff to their first leg of their trail ride there at the Sawmill chapter. So we appreciated that. It's good to make bread and look forward to what we foresee in this, not only this summer session of council, but also beyond. So appreciate Delegate Stewart's leadership like that. In the COVID-19 reopening here, as time played out in our closures, we always felt we could open up and recover safely. Ours was a need to reopen all those stores that weren't open and that remained closed after several months during this pandemic. We faced a diminishing returns the longer we stayed closed, and any job that puts food on the table is deemed essential. So we saw our Navajo consumers going elsewhere, consuming elsewhere during this pandemic. And we have the real need to replace all those things that this pandemic took away. And, we really need to work hard to bring about that change needed enhancement of quality of life for our citizens here on Denetra. But we hopefully will work with the 24th Navajo Nation Council to make all that happen. What we saw was the need for more retail stores during the pandemic when we should have been staying home, staying safe and saving lives potentially. We were out traveling about and we had to get supplies. We had to get those things that our households needed if we were going to be sequestered and isolated or locked down. And we really just consumed elsewhere. And so really for the next pandemic, because the guidelines say we can, whether it's CARES or ARPA, anything that is deemed COVID-19 related for this pandemic, we should be about enhancing our life here on our Navajo Nation for our citizens. What we saw was the lack of grocery stores, variety stores, appliance stores, and shoe stores and the like. So we can utilize these ARPA monies to help bring those and develop economic development infrastructure. On reopening schools, we look forward to helping those students that fell behind to catch up during this pandemic. On ARPA, the president has laid out the plan there. First through CARES, the $714 million, and now $1.8 billion in the first tranche of our American Recovery Plan Act, that we have this wonderful opportunity to catch up the Navajo Nation and some of the inequities that have maligned us for decades. So we look forward to the leadership from the 24th Navajo Nation Council to help us bring that change. Housing manufacturing, and when it comes to homes, and we needed them yesterday. So we have a lot of work to do in that regard. And we have started that plan with our housing program here, led by Jim Zwerlein. Appreciate his leadership. On our roads, our president did a great job of reporting on that important endeavor here. So not wishing to be redundant. Looking forward as we convene this summer session of the 24th Navajo Nation Council here in 2021. We look forward to working extremely hard along with our 24th Navajo Nation Council on these ARPA projects And this will go a long way into enhancing the quality of life here on the nation for our people of the great Navajo Nation. And so we appreciate all hands on deck mentality. We look forward to working again extremely hard with all of you and all chapters and our citizens all across the Netra. So I am the Vice President Comanche Nishle Tohana Basis team out of Comanche Desiche Clash Desinelli. I thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and all those on this WebEx. Thank you for your leadership. God bless you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Vice President, and thank you again, Council delegates. We are in the midst of a drought for many years, and we are pulling resources from Window Rock out to the local communities. We have fixed many windmills, but as the drought and the water table goes down throughout the region, we are seeing some of these fixed windmills not pumping water. And as you know, council members, you did approve a resolution to ask for assistance from the states. That was signed and sent to the states. And we're following up on that resources. But we do see some rain in parts of the Navajo Nation, which is a blessing. I thank the Navajo people and the leadership for praying for rain. We did have a Navajo Nation Days of Prayer to pray for our people and the drought. The other thing I want to mention too is as we travel throughout the Navajo Nation, we've seen firsthand what our people are going through. And we are meeting with the American Rescue Plan Act project presentations. We have seen animals not being attended to, livestock roaming and thirsty, hungry, and appreciate Dr. Shabala and the Division of Natural Resources going out, the Agriculture Department going out. And, you know, people are saying horse roundup, but we're actually rescuing these animals. We were in one community on the eastern part of the Navajo Nation where about 30 horses were there at the windmill where there was no water and they were suffering. And so the very next day we had our Navajo Nation Department of Agriculture go out and rescue those horses. And horses are dying because of the drought. And so those were done. I know that there is always some questions about why people are getting their animals rounded up, but it's for their own health and well-being, rescuing them. And so those rescues, and then we get those animals adopted out so that they can have a home. You know, I just want to challenge our Navajo citizens, our grandmas and our grandpas and our nullies, the elderly, even our moms and dads, maybe in their older years and are not able to take care of their livestock. And that's where our younger generation, younger people need to step in to help and assist and check up on their elders throughout this heat wave, and also the animals that are in need of food and water. And so we just want to commend our team for, you know, I know there's a lot of needs, don't get me wrong, a lot of needs. And if we continue to look to government for everything, we're not going to be able to address all the needs here on Navajo. That's where we need our citizens' help to go out and assist their elderly in their community. So wanted to challenge our citizens to go out and check up on our people And as we see the variants start to increase here on Navajo, we are doing our very best with the public health experts to monitor the upticks in our community and also to do more testing. I know that testing does occur here at the Navajo Nation government. It also needs to occur more out in our Navajo communities. And lastly, again, just the vaccines, how important we feel for you all to get vaccinated, everybody. We are about 70% fully vaccinated here on Navajo.